Hello everyone, it's Ryan from Infinite MTG, and today I have a modern deck tech for you all. Today's deck tech is a combo deck, and it resolves a single card from Aether Revolt. This card is Crackdown Construct. Crackdown Construct costs 4 generic mana. It is an artifact creature subtype of Construct with base power and toughness 2/2. However, the most important part of this card is the ability. Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact or creature that isn't a mana ability, Crackdown Construct gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. This is a really good ability, and this deck is built about ways to abuse this. First up, we have Shuko. Shuko is a 1-cost equipment that says equipped creature gets +1/+0. It has an equip cost of 0, which is what's really important to this deck. We can pay 0 to equip Shuko to the construct, then pay 0 to equip Shuko to the construct, then pay 0 to equip Shuko to the construct, and do this over and over and over again, until eventually Crackdown Construct is as big as you want it, which is normally infinite power and infinite toughness. Next up, we have Wandering Fumarole. Wandering Fumarole is a rare land from Oath of the Gatewatch. Now, Wandering Fumarole says it enters the battlefield tapped. It can tap for blue or red mana, and then if you pump 2 a blue and a red into it, it'll become a 1/4 blue and red elemental creature with pay 0, switch this creature's power and toughness to the end of turn. It's still a land. A few things to notice about this card. It enters tapped, but we can still pay 2 blue and a red the turn it enters tapped. And then we can still pay the 0 to switch its power and toughness. So it'll become a 1/4 and a 4/1, so you've got to be careful about it dying to removal, but if your opponent can't kill it, then it will again make the construct an infinite creature, which is what's so crucial to the deck. Next up, we have Lightning Greaves. Lightning Greaves is a 2-cost equipment that says equipped creature has haste and shroud means it can't be the target of spells or abilities. Like Shuko, it has an equip cost of 0. However, unlike Shuko, we can't equip it to the construct and then equip it again, because it's given the construct shroud. So we need 2 creatures in the battlefield, the construct and another creature, and we'll equip it to the construct, equip it to the other creature, equip it to the construct. So it requires a little bit more than the Shuko. However, it does give the construct shroud, which means your opponents can't kill it as easily. So we're running 4 Crackdown Constructs, 2 Shukos, 4 Wandering Fumaroles, and 3 Lightning Greaves. The next category of cards, what I'm calling win cards. Now this is 2 cards that will make us win the game. First up, we have Slip Through Space, which is a common sorcery from Oath of the Gatewatch. It costs a single blue, and it's devoid, which means it has no colour, and it says, target creature can't be blocked this turn, draw a card. Normally, we use it to target the construct, but if we don't have a construct in hand and we have 2 Slip Through Spaces, we can target another one of our creatures just to get the draw a card and try and find that construct. This is a really good card. If our Crackdown Construct's got infinite power and infinite toughness, suddenly it can't be blocked and your opponent can't stop dying, unless they've got a removal spell in hand. However, there are ways to get around that. Next card we have is Fling. Fling costs 1 and a red, and it is an instant that's been printed in a lot of sets, including Amonkhet. It says, as an additional cost to cast Fling, sacrifice a creature, normally the construct. Fling deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to target creature or player. This is really good. When we get the Crackdown Construct to an infinite creature, we can sacrifice it and deal infinite damage to our opponent, which wins us the game. The next category of cards are cards that find the combo. This could be through tutoring, or it could just be digging through the deck in various different ways. So first up we have Trinket Mage. Trinket Mage costs 2 and a blue. It's a creature human wizard, and it says, when Trinket Mage enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 1 or less, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Trinket Mage is a really good card. Not only does it provide a body in a very creature-like deck, but it can help tutor for Shuko, and that's the only card it can tutor for. But tutor is one of our combo pieces, so that's pretty good. It's a good blocker. Next up we have Inventor's Fair. Inventor's Fair is a rare land from Kaladesh. It says, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, you gain 1 life. It can tap for a colourless mana. And then it says 4, tap, sack Inventor's Fair, search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only if you control 3 or more artifacts. Inventor's Fair is not the greatest card. It's good if we end up drawing loads of Lightning Greaves or drawing loads of Shukos, but we don't have a construct. We can sack the Inventor's Fair to find that construct so that we can go infinite and hopefully win. Next up we have Opt. Opt is a really good card. It costs 1 blue, it's an instant that says scry 1, draw a card. It's been printed in a lot of recent sets, Ixalan and Dominaria, so it's very easy to get hold of. It's really good to do in your opponent's end step because it is an instant, so I wouldn't advise playing it during your turn unless you really need to find the card. Next up we have Index. Index costs 1 blue, it's a sorcery, and it says, look at the top 5 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. Index is a good card. There's a problem with it, and that problem is that if the 5 cards are garbage, we've got no way to get rid of them, and we just have to put them back on top. However, it can be good, because if we really need to find that crackdown construct, we can help find it up to 5 turns earlier. Next up, we have Tygam Scheming. Tygam Scheming is similar to Index. It costs 1 more, it costs 1 and a blue, it's a sorcery, and it says, look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard, and the rest back on top of your library in any order. So as you can see, Index is just not as good as Tygam Scheming, however it is cheaper, so we're running both of them. Tygam Scheming is good because if we don't like the cards on top, we can throw them all into the graveyard, or throw any we don't need into the graveyard, so it's just really powerful in that aspect. And then we have Compulsive Research. Compulsive Research says target player draws 3 cards, then that player discards 2 cards unless he or she discards a land card. So again, it's just another way of digging through the deck, trying to find the cards we need. It's a good card, it's another sorcery, so it's not the greatest, but it is really good. So we're running 1 Compulsive Research, 1 Tygam Scheming, 1 Index, 3 Opts, 1 Inventor's Fair, and a single Trinket Mage. And the final card to find the combo is Supreme Will. Now Supreme Will is probably the best out of all of these, because it's versatile. It costs 2 and a blue, it's an instant, and it says, choose 1. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3, so that's like Mana Leak. Or, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This is really good, because we can look at the top 4, find the combo piece we need, and the rest go on the bottom. Now the next category is ways to protect the combo, and as you can see, Supreme Will is here as well, because it can counter spells. Speaking of counter spells, we're running a single negate, compared to the 2 Supreme Wills, because it's just not as good, but it is really good. Negate costs 1 and a blue, and it says counter target non-creature spell. So we're only running 1 of these and 2 Supreme Wills. However, if your opponent plays lots of removal, I could easily see myself siding in a lot more negates and a lot more Supreme Wills. Then the final way to protect the combo is Dive Down, and we're running 4 Dive Downs. Dive Down is a blue instant spell, it costs 1 blue, and it says target creature you control gets +0/+3 and gains hexproof until end of turn. This is really good because it means your opponents can't interact with the creature at all. So if we can give our crackdown construct Dive Down, then we can cast something like Slip Through Space and your opponents can't respond to it. So it's really good at protecting the creature, stopping it from dying, because removal is very common in the format. The final category we have is instant and sorcery payoffs. So as you've probably seen, we've got a lot of instant and sorceries, but not that many creatures. Now, Young Pyromancer is a really good card, because it turns all of our instants into an army of 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. Young Pyromancer is probably one of the greatest things this deck can do on turn 2. In case you don't know, it says, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. The final card in the deck is Lightning Bolt, of which we're running 4. Lightning Bolt costs 1 red, and it says, Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage to any target. Lightning Bolt is probably one of the greatest 1-drops in the entire game, so it's always worth running. As for lands, we've got the 4 Wandering Fumaroles, the 3 Inventor's Fairs, 8 basic islands, and 6 basic mountains. Thank you all for watching today's deck tech. Please like, subscribe and comment down below on what you think of the deck, as well as checking out my Instagram, infinite_mtg. I'll see you guys next video.